Welcome to Actual Skill Modelling. This is part 6 of Trumpeter's Junkers GU87A Stuka. In part 5 I made up the weapon system and placed them on, putting on the decals and concentrating mainly on the undercarriage. In part 6 this will be the final part. I'll be finishing off the model and the final reveal will be at the end of it. So let's jump into it. So to start with, just a little bit of weathering to do. So I'm using my pencil and I'm going to be just running the pencil along the panel lines here. So just like that. I do this instead of doing a wash. Everyone has their own way of doing it. I prefer to use a pencil. And once I've used the pencil, I take an eraser and I just drag it over the graphite marks, and this smudges them and blurs them. You can also do this with the varnish as well. It streaks the graphite and it gives it that smudged, dirty look. So it softens all the edges up. So it's onto the canopy that I painted in part 5. Now it comes in 4 parts. So you just want to place it on, dry fit it first. I'm using Zap Canopy glue formula 560 here to actually attach it. So I just put a little bead on a matchstick or cocktail stick even, and just place it over where the seams are going to be. And once it's on, it's tacky enough just to secure the canopy into place. If you do have any excess from off, as I said, you can just wipe it off with a cloth. It does dry clear and it can also act as a filler as well if you've got any gaps, so that's worth keeping in mind. And the last piece of the canopy going on, the front piece, just slots in. I would recommend doing the 2 larger pieces first, one to go either side of the bulkhead there before placing the end parts on. Next part to go on is the prop. So just a little bit of glue at the tip here. Still want it to be going free moving, so it's just a little bit to secure it on, and just push it on until it butts hard against the edge. It will spring back a bit, but that's to allow it free movement. And now I'm using Pledge Clear Polish for the varnish, just a light coating to go all over. I'm using Tamiya's X10 gunmetal to paint in the marking strips here on either side of the wing. I actually forgot to do this. I should have done it before the varnish, but it's okay. I'll just re-varnish it once it's dried. So I'll start to put the decals on now. So these are going on the same way as the underside was going on. There's not that many decals to put on, but I did have 1 or 2 problems with them. They did break up a little bit, particularly the number ones broke up. I managed to save 1, but it looks a bit cracked and not too good. But I'm going to be putting a little bit of weather on them to make it look like it was natural chipping or something like that, just to try and salvage it, because I don't have another decal that size to replace it. I'm using Rebel Aquacolor 67 greenish grey and Rebel Aquacolor 90 silver, and this is for the 2 probes that go in the front of the wing part. So there's 2 in total, one with a strange spike thing, which I'm doing now, and the other one's a straight probe. Now it's really simple to assemble. There's the cloth spike thing. It just gets fitted onto the end of this. There's tiny little location points for it to fit onto. It'll be a little bit tricky to get it to line up. There you are. Now I did make a mistake here. The one with the little spike cloth thing, there was a square part of plastic at the end. I thought that was just part of the connection sprue, and it wasn't. It had to fit into this area there, just underneath my finger, and it's a square recess point. So it's not a problem. I'll just fill it with a bit of filler. So I've taken my filler and put a good glob of it on there, because I wanted to fill the hole entirely. And then it's just a simple case of pressing it into it. Now this filler that I use is, as I said before, it's also as a bonded agent. So all that needs is to sit there once I get in position and just prop it up with some paint so I don't have to hold it. And after about 10 minutes it'll be dry and ready to sand down and paint. And the probe on the opposite side is more simple. The hole's already there, and it's just a case of pushing it in. And there we are. On to withering now, and I'm using Tamiya's wither mask in series B and D. So I'm going to start off with the B series and use the suit component, and I'm just gently marking up where the airflow would leave marks on the wings. So just flicking it on, so it goes from dark to light. You can't really pick it up because my light's bouncing off the gloss shine at the moment. But some parts you can see it going on there. I'm then going on to the white component of the B series, and I'm just again streaking that along the black and on the black as well to lighten up. You can see it sort of there if I turn the light off. Then I'm going to take my eraser again and blend these in. If you're going to use an eraser like I do, make sure it's an old one. It will mark the area with whatever you've used your eraser for before, but for me that adds to the withering as well. So I'm just blending it in so it looks dirty and weather beaten, but always go in the airflow direction. And then it's another coat of gloss to seal that all in, all the withering. All that's left to do now is putting the aerial wire in. So I'm using easy mono wire here. Let me just hold it up. There it is. This is a £10 one, and it's a simple process to do. I'm just placing a little bit glue where I want to anchor the wire to. I'll do this in stages. So underneath the little fin here at the edge of the rear wing, and then I'll take a piece of line and stretch it over it and under it and hold it until the glue is set. It's super glue, so it doesn't take long to set. And once that's done, I do the same again for it gets attached to the pylon on top of the canopy. So a little bit of super glue, and then pull the line taut around it. So just make sure of your direction what way you're going to do it as well. That's always handy. So I just wrap it around just once, and again hold it until it sets. And just finishing up the second one now. So it's the same process as the first. And once it's dry, I just pull it taut and cut off the excess. You may find it helps to use a bit of a pair of locking pliers just to hold it if you don't want to be sitting there holding the wire until it sets. So a locking pliers does the job for you as well. And then I just go over the wire, the sides with a bit of paint, and that's all done. So this will actually bring the build to an end now. So what can I say about this kit? Well, there was some fitting issues, also with the nose cone there. The canopy could have fitted better, although that may have well been me. I'm not 100% sure on that. There was problems with the weapon system, trying to get them to fit. And the decals are very poor as well. On the face of it, they looked okay, but they've gone on quite heavily. I maybe should have used microsol, microfix to put them on, but I thought I would have got away with it. I used decal fix instead, which for the normal surfaces that generally works, but on this occasion not so well. But there you go. I've weathered it to match the decals, so I've put quite a bit of weathering around where the decals are, just to camouflage the fact that they've gone on a little bit heavier, so I think I've got away with that. I would recommend this kit for most people, even a beginner. There was a bit of detail in the cockpit, but nothing too strenuous for a beginner. The parts are big enough to get to grips with, so even if you're painting in fine detail you can, or you're just looking at it from a picture on the box, you'd be okay painting it. The fuselage actually went together quite well. The middle section was really a nice tight fitting, so you don't have to worry about major clamps, waiting for ages for it to dry and getting it in position. There was hardly any filling to be done along the fuselage. I had a little bit of slippage when I put it in, that's why I had to fill in here, I think. There was a little bit of filling required on the wing roots, but you tend to get that on most model aircraft anyway. I think I'm planning on doing the Ming 135 female tank. That's from World War One. I think I would like to give that a go, so that may well be my next project. The final reveal will be at the end of this, a small slideshow and a small slideshow video, like I normally do. With this, so I hope you enjoyed this build. So if you haven't done so already, why don't you check out the channel, see all my other builds. You can now see this build in its entirety. Hit that subscribe button for upcoming builds, and of course hit that like button and leave a comment. But for now, thank you all very much for watching. Bye bye.